into the stars, launching American astronauts to plant the stars and stripes on the planet Mars.
It will be to have American astronauts plant the flag on another planet for the first time? Bam!
President Trump declared his ambition to plant the US flag on Mars. Elon Musk couldn't hide his excitement. This is one of the most memorable moments from Trump's inauguration. And this statement was seen as a signal that Trump's second term will bring an accelerated push for space exploration with Mars as a prime target. In fact, after a decline in US space development budgets following the Apollo program in the 1960s, these budgets have been steadily climbing since the late 2000s. Currently, the US accounts for 60% of the world's space budget. But in this cosmic race, one nation stands against the US, China. The Chinese government unveiled its national medium and long-term development plan for space science, setting a goal to establish itself as a global space power by 2050. Since 2004, China has been actively exploring the moon and succeeded in landing on the far side of the moon in 2019. In June 2024, China announced another groundbreaking achievement, successfully collecting soil samples from the moon's far side, marking a major milestone in space exploration.
探测器经受住了月背高温考验，通过钻具钻取和机械臂表取两种方式，分别采集了月球样品。
What began as a race for national prestige between the US and the Soviet Union in the 1950s has now evolved to a battle for global dominance in space. In particular, the competition between the US and China has become even more intense in the 21st century, with both nations targeting the Moon and Mars as their primary objectives. The stakes are higher than ever, as the Moon is believed to hold nearly 1 million tons of helium-3, a next-generation energy source. This substance can be used as a nuclear fusion energy source, theoretically providing energy to the entire Earth for 10,000 years. Additionally, rare earth elements, iron, chromium, aluminum, and titanium are also found on the Moon. Of course, no single nation can monopolize the Moon's resources. Under the Outer Space Treaty in 1967 and the Moon Agreement in 1979, both adopted by the United Nations, no country can claim ownership of the Moon or any planet. However, countries around the world continue to engage in an endless competition for space development. Since the US passed the Commercial Space Launch Competitiveness Act in 2015, the dynamic shifted. This law allows private companies or individuals to own the resources they mine, even though they cannot claim ownership of the Moon itself. This legal nuance has opened the door to a new era of commercial space ventures, fueling even greater competition in the race to tap into the Moon's hidden wealth. The Moon also holds water and ice, which can be converted into drinking water, as well as hydrogen and oxygen that can be utilized as rocket fuel. This opens up the possibility of using the Moon as a forward base for deep space exploration. The Moon's gravity is 1/6 of Earth's, making it possible to launch spacecraft with less fuel. The competition between the US and China over the Moon has evolved beyond a bilateral rivalry into a race of alliances. Through the Artemis program, the US is strengthening international cooperation and countering China. Countries like South Korea, Japan, and Europe are participating in the project with the goal of sending humans to the moon's south pole for exploration.
Different countries and different private companies might want to do their own things on the surface of the moon. And so the Artemis Accords outline how we can all go and explore the moon safely.
The project also includes the construction of the Gateway space station, granting exclusive access to participating countries, while effectively excluding China. In response, China has formed an agreement with Russia to build its own lunar space station. But did you know that the intense competition surrounding the moon is closely intertwined with the broader race to explore Mars?
NASA's Artemis program will pave the way for humanity's giant leap, future missions to Mars. There's no doubt that we are in a golden era of human space exploration.
Mars has a rotation period similar to Earth's and features a wide range of natural landscapes, including mountain ranges, canyons, and ice caps at the poles. These Earth-like qualities make Mars a promising candidate for addressing the Earth's resource depletion problem and potentially serving as a second home for humanity. Also, the technologies developed through Mars exploration can be applied not only to space, but also to Earth. Life support systems, innovative energy solutions, and 3D printing-based self-sustaining construction technologies are expected to push scientific advancement to new heights. Both the US and China are determined not to miss out on these groundbreaking opportunities. In particular, the US is actively expanding the involvement of private companies in space development. At the forefront of this push is SpaceX. NASA is working with SpaceX with the goal of sending humans to Mars sometime between the late 2030s and 2040s.
Do you want the future where we become a spacefaring civilization and are in many worlds and are out there among the stars, or one where we are forever confined to Earth?
China also succeeded in landing its independently developed Tianwen-1 rover on Mars in 2021. China has set a goal to bring Martian soil and rock samples back to Earth by the early 2030s. They are also planning a manned mission to Mars, which will make the competition between the US and China even more intense. What is more, space dominance is closely tied to national security. Space technologies are increasingly being used for military purposes, including missile launch detection, surveillance of military activities, precision-guided weapons, space-based missile defense systems, and electronic warfare. In this context, not only the US and China, but also other major nations are intensifying their space development efforts. India emerged as a space power in 2023 with the successful landing of Chandrayaan-3 on the moon's south pole. Japan is developing probes with advanced landing technologies, and the EU operates its own satellite network. South Korea has demonstrated its capabilities in the space industry with the successful launch of Nuri, its domestically developed space rocket. Looking ahead, space development will become more than just a technological competition. It will be a key element in shaping each country's diplomatic strategies and military power on the global stage. We stand at a critical juncture where nations must carefully consider how to navigate the delicate balance between global cooperation and competition in this new frontier.